Hello, friends. Hello, Patriots. Welcome in. Excited to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us today. I know Hobbit posted in the chat, I'm not really into country music, but yeah, there's a lot of patriotic songs that are of the country genre, and I've been finding quite a few. So hope you enjoy those. Let us know your comments. And if you have songs that you think we should be playing on here, please let us know. And by us, I don't mean me, I mean us. My co-host here, Lewis Herms. Lewis, how are you, my friend? Uh-oh, Lewis is muted.
I'm just the way everybody wants me, muted.
Let's have Lewis not make too much noise today, shall we? How you doing today, my friend?
I'm good. I'm excited about our conspiracy segment today. We're going to bring the heat on that one. And then it's interesting. I was not going to mention anything to Juneteenth because I don't like to give it any energy towards that until I read in the chat Humble Painter's response. Now I will. It says, quote, "Happy Prune-teenth, everyone, where the elderly celebrate regularity."
Oh, there you go.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Do we have the smartest audience?
We really do.
By far.
Yeah.
I mean, I've looked at other chats. It's just I'm just blown away that in our chats they bring it like no other, and they hold us accountable too, which is good.
Yeah, we have a really good group. I really appreciate our viewers, and certainly all the comments and feedback we get. So always exciting to see what's going on, because we can't tell. I mean, I'm looking at the show from all these monitors in front of me. I've got 48 different shots that I can pull from. I got all this technology going on, and sometimes you don't get a feeling for what it's like to be on the receiving end of it. And I have to tell you, not to be biased or anything, but I am biased. When I watch a show and I'm not on it, it's an amazing show. It really is good. I mean, it's really at a high level. So I think we're doing good. And, like I said, our viewers will let us know if we're not, right?
They will too. And that's good because that's what sovereignty is all about.
Yep.
Is we don't need to count anybody. We need to be held accountable to anybody else. So we appreciate the feedback. I just absolutely love our audience, love our admins. Everybody that supports the show, we're pretty blessed when it comes down to it.
We really are, and can't say enough about them. And changing the format, doing some new things today, and I think it is based on the feedback we're getting from our viewers, why we're making some more changes. Actually, the truth is, Lewis, we're making changes all the time. From one show to the next, there's always a little tweak here or a little adjustment there. We're always doing things like that to keep the show at a decent level. But yeah, the viewer feedback is real important for us, and that's what keeps us going, keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, I'm just on one toe, but I agree.
One toe. We were sitting in bed last night just having a conversation.
When he says "were," he was not referring to me. Let's just be very clear
Phoebe
about
and I, we were sitting in bed just watching. I was falling asleep. I was getting real tired. And then Phoebe looks out the window and she says, "You got to see this." So this is what was out the window last night. It's like, she goes, "What in the world is that?" So I said, "All right, let's take a little video here." So I shot a little video of it so you could see the whole thing. Because you know me, there's, the camera's never far from me. So it's kind of cool, huh?
Very cool.
Yeah. Right overhead. Didn't look like it was too high. I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway,
where did it launch from?
What was that?
Where did it launch from?
Vandenberg.
Okay.
So this is SpaceX that had a launch last night. They targeted June 18th, which was yesterday. And it's a Falcon 9 launch of 20 Starlink satellites, including 13 with direct-to-cell capabilities. So not necessarily cell phone signal, but direct-to-cell capabilities. So that's interesting because Elon is trying to come out with a cell phone that won't be tracked. Unlike Android and iOS, all the tracking, all the apps have access to all your data, and it's insane if you have Facebook on your Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp on your phone, how much of your data is tracked. 20, 30 pages of data they're tracking. For what reason? They don't need any of that data, truthfully. To send you advertising? No. That's the excuse.
Thank you.
What are they needed for,
That's exactly right. That's the excuse.
And people buy it. They're like, okay, yeah, I want ads that are targeted to me. We're having a conversation about something, and all of a sudden you go on your Facebook and they're the ads for the thing you were just talking about. You think your phone's not listening? 24/7 it's listening. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
Guaranteed, my friend. Guaranteed. All right. I want to make mention of our buddy Matt. Matt's going to join us a little bit later this week. I believe he's going to be here on Friday. And we're going to be talking about, we've got Matt queued up for some questions, and some of the questions that you might ask or may not pick up the phone to ask, we're going to have him answer for us, because I know a lot of you have questions. Sometimes we hear about these questions, and it's a good idea to have him come in and just say, Matt, here are the questions. Tell us what the answers are. So you want to find out more, you can talk to Matt directly. Why wait? MidasGoldGroup.com, or call him at 480-725-0536. And we thank Matt for sponsoring our little program here. And a lot of people have been calling him. He's been telling us, been having a lot of great conversations with all of you. And keep doing it. Learn, because I'm looking out there. This financial world is a little bit shaky right now. I don't have a lot of confidence in it. How about you, Lewis?
No, I have a lot of confidence that it's going to crash, and there's going to be a lot of good investment opportunities.
Very true. Very true.
So so as you know, I'm very famous for predicting 2 Octobers ago that there's going to be a huge crash. I'm very famous for being wrong.
The October surprise. Yes, I know.
I looked at all the markers, and it was like September, October 2022. It has to happen. I mean, it goes exactly the way it always goes, right? But then I didn't take into account of the big, huge influx of and the manipulation of the markets. That being said, it would eventually have to catch up to them. It clearly has now, because the real estate bubble is now starting to burst. We're all over the place. You're seeing real estate prices go down, and I mean, fast. Like I can tell you, because I was just looking at some stuff in Florida out of curiosity, and we're talking 5 to 7% drops in 30 days. I'm like, wow, those are huge drops on properties where they said 30 days and they're dropping it. So there's some desperation out there for sales, obviously. So we'll see what happens. But what's going to go along with that is the market's going to crash. You see silver rising. So everything looks like it's happening right now. And fortunately, there's going to be a lot of people hurt. But those are the ones that haven't been paying attention, when many of us have been saying, this is coming, guys. Be prepared for this.
Yep.
And we're going to have to be uncomfortable before we get comfortable again. But it also will probably act as a catalyst to get some of the people that I've been begging to get off their couch and do something, because now they're going to be hitting the pocketbook, so they're probably going to get active.
Yeah. So
there's the benefit from that.
There really is. And, we get comfortable, right? I remember Dan Kennedy talking about it in 2006, 2007. He was saying that this country is suffering from mass affluence. Now, where'd the affluence come from? Real estate prices going skyrocketing, and everybody had a line of credit. They could just write checks for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever, because the property value had gone up so much, it would just add to their mortgage. No big deal, right? It didn't matter. So there was a lot of money in the economy. And then what happened? It crashed, right? 2008, Obama gets in. He decides to do Obamacare and other things. Really a war on small business, and everything dropped. And then Trump gets back in and kind of turns the corner, and things start looking good again. And then we get Biden, and what happens? Sharp downward turn. But I think you can't keep doing this. You can't keep riding the left side, right side, left side, up, down, all the way. And at some point you're going to crash. And I think we're very close to that. All the signs are kind of pointing to it. I mean, how much money can they print? Other countries finally are waking up to this and going, no more. The American dollar isn't the standard anymore. It's not the standard that, it has been for many, many years. We lost the petrodollar, in Saudi Arabia. That's big. I mean, I don't know if you're paying attention to that, but that's big. That means we could very well experience, I don't like to say it, but we could experience hyperinflation. Why? Because it's going to take more of our dollars to buy the imports from other countries. Our dollar is going to be valued less, valued less, valued less, and it's going to take more of them to buy things. That means the prices for all of us are going to go up. I was having a moment the other day. Yesterday, I was going looking for something, and I was going through all my electronics and cameras and tripods and everything. I'm like, how much of this stuff is actually made in America? I think I found one item that was made in America. Like nothing's made here, you know?
No.
Yeah.
But you know what would prevent all of that? If the so-called petrodollar wasn't attached to a fiat currency. If that was attached to a gold-backed currency, there never would be an issue. And this, I believe, this whole crash will be used for good, which will transition us into a gold-backed currency, gold and silver-backed currency. I believe that's the direction we're going. And it's amazing how just if everything was an even playing field, we would be very successful.
Yep. No
be
question.
Extraordinarily successful. We have to remember, though, when we talk about the ups and the downs and the Republicans and the Democrats, especially in regards to finances, because the Democrats and the Republicans are the same coin, just two different sides. What I mean by that is it doesn't matter if Obama's in there or even President Trump is in there. All the Democrats and Republicans are making money.
Correct.
Because they are all inside traders, and they're getting kickbacks, and as you've said many times, they're in and coming back and filling up their coffers. So it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. So that division, isn't it interesting, of the wins and the losses? That's just for us because that's part of the circus for we the people.
Right.
But it doesn't matter if there's a down economy or an up economy, they always increase their income year after year after year after year. That's another reason why we need to eliminate our government completely, bring it down to at least 10%.
Well, you see the Republican, quote unquote, into Ukraine. They fight for it to go to Ukraine. The only reason they would fight as hard as they fight tooth and nail for it is because they're getting something from it.
Absolutely.
It's pretty clear. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. It's like, it goes there, makes a U-turn, comes back. And that's why he's always, the puppet playing Zelensky is always asking for more money. He's not getting any of it. It's going there and turning around and coming right back. By the time he pays off all the bribes and everything, there's probably not a whole lot left. And by the way, he's skimming too. He bought a casino just recently,
Yeah, he's getting it. His wife is getting it. It's just not going to their military complex over there.
Yep.
It's scandalous, but we know the game and we're taking down the game. That's the beautiful thing.
Yep. We're learning as we go how big and how bad the game is. And you can follow the game right here at screwbiggov.com. Lewis will keep you updated. Got a lot of cool stuff there, films and freedom in action, which is going to become a bigger part of the world that we are playing in here as we go forward, because there is a Unity tour coming up later this year, and it's going to be part of this. And actually, all the sites are going to be merged in a way. So Remember Your Oath and Freedom in Action, ScrewBigGov, all of it's going to be at the ScrewBigGov.com site. All that information will be there. And I spoke to the purveyor of Esther yesterday, and that renovation's coming along real good, so that we'll be ready for the Unity tour starting September 3rd, I believe, right?
That's right. Yeah. The purveyor of Esther. Couldn't have been said better than that.
He's been doing a lot of work on that, so he's real excited about how it's coming out. And he took a break to give me a call because we hadn't spoken in a little while. We both get busy and stuff, so it's good to catch up with Mr. Bruce Poppy. So yeah, he's doing a great job. Can't wait to see what Esther looks like when it's all done. So the Unity Tour, 50 cities, 33 days. It's going to be a mad dash across the country, zigzagging a little bit across the country. Hopefully, we'll be in your neighborhood, and we hope you'll join us because we'd love to see you live and in person, shake hands, get a hug, whatever. Be part of the solution here, not part of the problem, right, Lewis?
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll start off in Florida and end up in Florida, but we will hit just about every state. We're going to hit 50 cities in 33 days. And people have figured out now why 33, because we're taking back our numbers. We're not interested in what the cabal has in their numbers and their scheming and stuff like that. Forget them. Don't give them the energy. We take it. That's our number now. Thank you very much for playing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a lot of energy at these places. It'll be myself and Bruce and Kevin Pasco at every location. Robert will be in the studio every single day. It's going to be a very, very busy 33 days for Robert. People don't understand how much work goes into this in the back end. So he'll be we'll be live streaming this.
We should just
don't
say,
let
Lewis,
that
we
an
should say
excuse.
behind the scenes rather than the back end.
Well, you are pretty close to West Hollywood, so I think it was appropriate. So in behind the scenes of West Hollywood. No, I'm joking. So Robert will be doing a lot of work. Let's just say back there. It sounds like a colonoscopy at this point. But we're gonna have a lot of fun with this, and there's gonna be a high energy event. And just because we're live streaming, that better not be your excuse for not showing up. Because I'll tell you what, if we're not getting the numbers, we're just gonna cut the stream, and we just won't do a live stream because this is a unity event. So if we're in 200 miles of your place, please come and join us for just a few hours.
Yeah,
and there'll be a whole bunch of influencers that are showing up and people that you know and wonderful people that you don't know. We'll have music, high energy. It'll be a very, very, very good time.
Somebody's asking, will there be popcorn?
Sure, bring it.
Sure, bring it. Cool. ScrewBigGov.com. You can follow me also on Telegram at Renegade Media. I post all the videos that we use in the show here up on there, and also other things as well. If you want to email me, robert@renegademedia.tv. And boy, there's been a lot going on. I've been watching the news a little bit here and trying to kind of get a feel for, where we're going. And it's just win after win at this point. There's just so much bubbling up. I know it's frustrating because we want to see it all gone, but it doesn't all go. It goes a little, and then you start chipping away, and all of a sudden, it's a little bit like demolishing a building, right? Pop, 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 pop. Each one of those explosions, doesn't really do anything until you hit a critical mass, and then what happens? Then the whole thing collapses.
That's exactly right.
So I think that's what we're looking at now. We're getting the pop, 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 and at some point this is going to collapse, and I believe it's going to collapse pretty quickly when it happens.
Yeah, we're also working against other forces. So deep state forces, demonic forces. We're working against forces that would rather fill their pockets with money than give you the correct information. In fact, we're getting a lot of feedback. Ethan and I did a show yesterday, and I thought it was a phenomenal show. And a lot of people just loved it. And there's a few people that were very frustrated because Ethan was so angry at the beginning of the show, because there's a lot of controlled opposition out there, and there's fake patriots, or I call them fake triots, right? They put out the money, they get the clicks, and he's frustrated because I can tell you, I was just looking at a site today. This guy has over 220,000 views, right? And I can tell you, he's an utter piece of shit. I know what he does. I know the games he plays, and yet we can't. Sometimes we can't get 1/20th that when it comes into views. So Ethan's very frustrated. But these are the forces we're fighting against, day after day after day. So we just have to be our best. So, but Ethan's concerns are also correct, because it's stalling the process, because ultimately I think it's up to we the people. And if you keep having these forces with too much opium or too much fear porn, it holds people back. So I understand where he's coming from, but we're going to do multiple shows in regards to we the people are the plan, because it's true, and I think it's very, very important. Speaking of shows, tomorrow, Lewis Herms, that guy, let me see, I have an image here Lisa just created for me. How could I do it? There we go. Dun, dun, dun. Tomorrow, Q&A with smiley face there, Lewis Herms. Right here, same time, same back channel. So that's what we're up to. So yes, there's a lot of work to be done, but we're well on our way to getting it done, like you say, Robert. And I do believe we've just about breached critical mass if we're not inside of it already.
Yeah, I think we're very close because you're looking at the news stories, and that's always your clue. It's never about just looking at a singular story, and that's not going to tell you the whole thing. What you want to look for is the same as trading, the same as stock markets, the same as what you do in marketing or in business, is you look for the trend. Where's the trend line going, right? And the trend line is very much in our favor right now. It may not appear that way yet, but if you count the wins, there's a win over here, there's a win over here, here's a win, here's more exposure, here's more disclosure, here's a court case we've won, and there's all these pieces that are bubbling.
Stuff. They were really close to putting numbers on people. I was like, what the heck?
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I have a feeling that when the dam breaks, I believe it's cracking now, but when it breaks, I have a feeling that's where we'll see it, as either Australia or New Zealand, just based on the way that they were treated. And there's some really good doctors out there that are out ready to put together some good stuff.
And Canada too is in that boat.
True. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Good point. Canada would definitely be in that.
Yeah, so you're looking at that, and it's like you gotta find it in yourself to get a little bit excited. I know a lot of people are depressed and stressed about all this stuff. It's like, just go look for the bright spots. They're there. You just gotta get away from the negative mainstream media. Mainstream media will never tell you the good news because that doesn't increase viewership. It decreases it. Maybe that's our problem, Lewis. We tell too much good news here. Damn it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all bad, people. It's all bad. Nothing good is happening. Forget what I said.
The reality, the truth always seems to be in the middle. And that's why we'll take the hopium and we'll break it apart and say, well, there's some truth to it. We'll take the fear porn and we'll say, well, there's some truth to it, but let's look at it from this positive angle, which I think that's the healthy way to go. And like you and I've had, we'll just say it out in the open. We've had backroom conversations several times that we're going to be consistent, we're going to be authentic, we're going to be honest. And the audience will eventually matriculate to us, because I do believe we're approaching the age of authenticity, and that's what people are going to start craving.
Yeah. More and more, as they realize they've been lied to, they're going to come away from all of this stuff. And we got a couple of stories that'll kind of lead in that direction today before we get into the conspiracy theory. I know everyone's looking for the conspiracies. I can't believe we're already half hour in. What are we doing, Lewis? Too much jibber jabber.
We're jabbering.
Okay, well, let's get into a couple of news stories, and then we'll jump into, look at this. Wow, we have a lot of people watching on X today. Wow, biggest audience yet. Thank you, guys. GOP introduces a resolution without Senate approval to nullify subpoenas for Navarro, Bannon, Scavino, and Meadows to declare the January 6th committee illegitimate. What took them so long? Have they had the majority in the House since 22?
Mm-hmm.
We're now 24. So this is a feel-good, piss-you-off story, one of those kind of things. So, Thomas Massey of Kentucky, Andy Biggs of Arizona, and Eric Burleson of Missouri, I guess that MO is Missouri, have introduced a resolution aimed at rescinding the congressional subpoenas issued to Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro. This proposal, let me just make a point here. Peter Navarro, his 4-month prison sentence ends, I think, one day before the RNC convention, which is mid-July. So he's in the last month of his 4-month sentence. So even if they rescind it, how do they give him his time back?
He can't.
Can't.
Yeah.
This proposal also seeks to officially repudiate the actions of the January 6th committee, which Massey and other Republicans have labeled as wholly illegitimate. It's been illegitimate for 4 years, people. Now Massey has taken his proposal from social media to the House floor, introducing a bill aimed at saving Bannon and Navarro from serving their prison sentences. Untrue. Navarro's already serving his prison sentence, so that's not true. Gateway pundits got it wrong. So the quote here is rescinding the subpoenas issued by the January 6th Select Committee, as Trump calls it, the Unselect Committee, on September 23rd, 2021, October 6th, 2021, and February 9, 2022, and withdrawing the recommendations finding Stephen Bannon Mark Meadows, Daniel Scavino Jr., and Peter K. Navarro in contempt of Congress. The resolution reads, according to Massey, this does not need, here's the kicker. This is the piss you off part. This does not need Senate approval. The original subpoenas were issued unilaterally from the House, so the House can rescind them unilaterally. Why haven't they? Why do we have to get this far into it?
They don't have the votes in the House. That's what the problem is. But it's all BS acting. It's a game, right? Because you mentioned it, you just kind of brushed over it, but we said this 4 years ago. We knew immediately that this was the J6 committee was a complete, absolute sham.
Right.
I think it was 3 years ago. But we were all over it. It's a sham. We can prove it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at, they're not showing this video. They're not asking this question. They're not doing this. And just look who was on the committee itself. That tells you everything.
Well, look at the fact that they buried all the video too. They didn't let and they promised. McCarthy promised.
And how about the stuff they said they lost?
Oh, they lost it. Yeah, sure.
They lost. They deleted it. You know, our files, our servers were too full. You know, come on. All right. Hillary Clinton bleach bit 2.0.
Yep.
So the thing is, though, is this is the frustrating part about government, and maybe this will help us with government reform. And this is what we have to pay attention to, because the fact that it took 3 years for the Republicans to address this at all tells you everything, how slow government moves to take care of anything. So if you're a deep state corrupted person and you understand how slow government moves, even if they have the right intention, you can do as many things as you want within there.
Right.
In fact, a lot of things you do, will run out of statute, because some things are only a statute of limitations of 2 years. I mean, they're very, very short on some things. Mm-hmm. So they can play the games all the time, and then they know they have the news media that has their backs, and they'll change the narrative for them. So this is, again, just another example why it all has to be torn down and barely built up to maybe the 10% realm, in my opinion, because it's very obvious that even let's just assume that the Republicans had the right intention over 3 years to address this. That's ridiculous.
They're not doing their job.
I don't.
Yeah,
they're not. They're clearly not, and they can't. They're feckless. They'll get nothing done, and this is all show, anyways. Right? Because they understand there's an election coming up. And by the way, isn't that interesting that everything that's being done, as soon as an election happens, it all gets erased away like it never even happened, and we start from ground zero again, and we take 4 more years to not get something done again, and 2 years to the midterm and not get something done. Oh, we can't do it because of the midterm. We can't do it because of the general. We can't do it because of the midterm. Can't do it because of the general. Dude, does anybody see how manic that is? These are just excuses, y'all. It's excuses. This is why the government has to be completely dismantled and built up the way the Constitution Republic was supposed to be in the first place.
Yep. Hey, I want to address Edward in our chat room. Edward, I know you're listening. You are following the wrong account on Twitter. If you're following at Lewis Herms, please unfollow. That's a fake account. On Twitter, it's Wow Louie. So everyone should follow Wow Louie on Twitter. Wow Louie on Twitter. Not Lewis Herms. That's a fake account.
Hey, but that guy with that fake account, even though I got a blue check mark, X will not verify my ID in order to get that guy removed. This is real story here. They said your ID is unverifiable. We can't do anything for you. Yet they had to verify it in order to give me a blue check mark in the first place. Yeah. And that guy that has 1/26th of the followers I have gets the same impressions, if not more, than I do. And he cuts and pastes my stuff up, and then he deletes a lot of them and then puts some other ones up. It's always my stuff. So there's a reason. And Elon, are you involved? What's going on? Why are we being suppressed on X so much? Why did you delete my original ScrewBigGov account, and then this backup account is now shadow banned to the maximum? And then why do you allow somebody that's completely mimicking me? I gave them all the proof. Why can't you certify me and say it is me, yet you can let that guy keep going?
Yep.
Really, really, these are questions that we really have to ask. Instead of just saying, "Oh, it's everything Elon is wonderful," let's just ask these questions because something's not adding up over there. Oh, by the way, hooray! Lisa said after 3 days, we just got a video back up on TikTok. They weren't posting our videos. Like
Wow.
literally, they would not post our videos, and they just allowed it. So we are fighting this battle right now, pretty heavy, and I think a lesser person would get pretty depressed. But we're just going to work as hard as we can at it.
Edward says he's going to correct the error. So thank you, Edward. Appreciate that.
Thanks, Ed. Can you report them also, Edward?
I looked for a way to do that. I didn't actually see a way to report that account.
Yeah,
you
you have to send it to support, but they probably won't do anything about it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm changing the rotation here a little bit, looking at the clock. We have a production clock we have to follow. It's the only way we can do this. It's the only way we can do it.
Sophisticated.
So I was about to get started doing the show, and I had, it's crunch time for me, like a half hour before we go live. Got to get all the computers going, the cameras tested, everything. I start streaming 15 minutes before the show, before I push it out to Rumble, check everything, check the audio, make sure everything's working. And then Thumper jumps up on the desk and just plops himself down on the keyboard.
Oh, no.
And things just went haywire. I don't know what keys he laid on, but everything just went haywire. I'm like, dude, you can't do this. Not now.
That's what you get for feeding him so well.
Oh, I know. And then I had to, get up, go in the kitchen, get him his super sauce, mix it with his regular food. And then he was like, I'm happy now. And he's got a full belly and he's napping. So, yeah.
So here's the quickest commercial ever. If you want your cat to jump on your keyboard, just go to sbgpets.com or Robert's link, petclub247.com/ whatever our links are in the description. Go to Robert, go to me. It doesn't matter, but just go there and buy the pet food. It's amazing. And your cat will screw your computer up also.
That's right. And you'll be able to have a fun afternoon because your cat has tons of energy, like mine does at 15 years old. Crazy an amount of energy. Okay. I'm going to skip one story, but I want to go into this one real quick, and then we'll go into the conspiracy because I have 4 more stories, but I have too much today to cover. So there's a solar company that has collapsed, and customers are furious. This is a company called Titan Solar. I believe they're in California and also Nevada. They told their employees on June 13th that it was closing its doors because nobody would buy the company. Is that a clue or is that a clue? Nobody wants to buy the company. Over 2023 and 2024 to date, 16 major solar companies have filed for bankruptcy. Overall, an earlier Time report estimated 100 local solar installers have gone belly up in 2023. Others are on the brink. Time reported that SunPower said in December there was a substantial doubt that it would keep operating. Wow. Share prices in national solar installers Sunrun and SunNova have fallen better than 85% from 2020. After 50 years and hundreds of billions of dollars in subsidies, loads of regulatory advantages and political support, solar power generated, ready for this? Under 4% of America's electricity in 2023, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration. Wow. And what you're seeing there is the solar plant in Ivanpah, which is right on the California-Nevada border. Gigantic solar farm that they put up there.
Yeah. The cool part is you can actually see the sun rays reflecting off the mirror when you go by there.
Yep.
And you can see the birds pop when they go through the beam. Now, on the serious side, there's 2 main reasons, in my opinion, why this has failed. And I saw this coming years ago. One is Robert pointed it out, 100%, it's ineffective, right? It's the cost to production ratio is just not there. It doesn't make any financial sense. That's why they needed the subsidies. Subsidies is the real reason why they've collapsed, because 2 things happened to subsidies. Number one is they got extraordinarily diluted because the subsidies were capped at a certain amount and so many players came into the market, right? So the subsidies that 3 companies would get were now is shared by 50 companies. That hurts. And then now the subsidies are being reduced. So now you're sharing it by a bunch of companies and you're reducing the subsidies at the same time. The only thing that was sustaining these companies is fake paper money. Isn't that interesting how we do that?
Yep.
It's the fake paper or fake digital money. It's always the fake thing. These companies would never make it. Great example. Under Obama, General Motors should have absolutely collapsed. It didn't. It got bailed out by the government and therefore sustained. In a real market, Ford, by the way, did not take the government money. They struggled and they came back strong. They would have been stronger because their competitor, GM, would have collapsed because the business was mismanaged. These bailouts and these subsidies are the worst freaking thing you can possibly imagine. I don't know how many businesses that I've worked for corporations that get some type of government budget, and sure enough, right before budget time, they're scrambling and spending money like drunken whores on the stupidest things, just because if they don't spend all the money in their budget will be reduced for the next year. Mm-hmm. It's the least efficient thing out there. It all needs to end.
In California, they invested a ton in solar and they subsidized so many homeowners. And actually, they have it now as a rule that you cannot build a new house without adding solar to it. And one of the challenges we have here in California is our peak energy use starts at 4 p.m. Right when the sun's going down and you're not generating any power, then your peak usage. Yeah. Everyone comes home, turns on their air conditioners, their washing machines, their dishwashers, their televisions. Peak usage goes up and solar power is gone. Zero. That sun goes down, it's over. Crazy. Thinking hydrogen would be better, but okay, that's just me.
Yep, I love hydrogen.
So just one quick story, and then we'll jump into the conspiracy part. This came out today. This was interesting. This is Dell Computer. I actually met Michael Dell. We actually were doing business with him years ago when he was just a smaller company. So Dell SMC, super microcomputer, and NVIDIA to build Elon Musk's Grok supercomputer in Memphis, Tennessee. So xAI's multi-billion-dollar gigafactory of compute is being constructed in Memphis, Tennessee, is set to become the world's largest supercomputer. The artificial intelligence company founded by Elon could be months away from powering chatbot Grok, which is already operational. Not great. I've played with it a little bit. Not great, but it's there. A source recently told the Daily Memphian, it's kind of an interesting word, the Memphian. I'm a Memphian. I live in Memphis. I guess that's what they call themselves. That the supercomputer could start running in 8 to 12 months. The supercomputer is intended to power and do computations for Grok. And the information, a business publication, reported on May 26th that the supercomputer would be ready by August of 25. Now, listen to this. But a source familiar with the matter told the Daily Memphian that the supercomputer could start running in 8 to 12 months earlier than expected, making August 2024 a start possible. So Dell and SMC Supermicrocomputer are building the racks for this thing. So, giant AI coming, it looks like. You remember, all the AIs were being trained off of Twitter. Think about this for a minute, right? And when Elon bought it, what he did is he turned off all the API access so they couldn't take that data to train their artificial intelligence anymore. Because they need mountains and mountains and mountains of data. But the problem with it was all the data was censored on Twitter. So you were getting an AI that was slanted very left. Why? Because the data was censored before it went in. So now that it's not so censored, and now they obviously, Elon's going to mine his own company's data. You're going to have a very different experience with AI, I think.
Yeah, I just imagine how much free energy it takes to run those factories.
Yeah, thousands and thousands and thousands of computers in there to make this thing go. Racks and racks and racks. I mean, crazy.
The cooling of it is what's very expensive, too.
Yeah, they're going to be liquid cooled, apparently. So they're going to be running antifreeze throughout the plant, I guess. I don't know. Prestone?
Amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's coming, guys. AI is something we have to keep an eye on, and we have to make sure that it's done, ethically, because you can go the other way with it too. And I don't think we'll be able to stop it, but certainly if we can manage it, we'll be in a better space. And I know a lot of people go, AI, I hate it, I hate it, I hate it. You need to learn about it as much as you can, only because, like it or not, it's part of our life at this point.
Yeah, we're not going to eliminate it, so we have to find out to use it for good is
Right.
what we have to figure out.
Yep. All right, are you ready to play in the realm of conspiracy?
Let's do it.
Okay. Boo. There we go.
All right. So this wonderful segment. Oh, we didn't do our segment introduction. Do you have your segment introduction?
I do have the segment introduction.
Let's do that for fun. Let's do that first.
Okay.
That was a false start, everybody.
Tinfoil hat time.
All righty. So the objective here is to what's going on. Oh, we're looking at the wrong screen. Sorry. The objective here is to give you some ammunition for the abnormies. That's right. I said the abnormies because you're the normies. Because what's going on is we've been told forever that conspiracy theories are wrong. Well, let's help you out with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over once considered conspiracies are now proven, admitted, 100% facts. All right, where do we start? Let's go to one of our favorites. So you ever hear of the Tuskegee? And Robert, feel free to jump in on any one of these. So there's the famous Tuskegee syphilis study. Interesting. So if you're not abreast on what happened there, they took 100 black men in Tuskegee and they intentionally gave them syphilis, they being the government, so they can track the effects of it. Now, interesting enough, that was widely considered a conspiracy for about 30 years. That's a lie, that's a lie, that's a lie. Now it's 100% proven, without a doubt, that was absolutely true. So again, once consider a conspiracy, then considered a fact. Interesting enough, and by the way, not coincidental, there's another name that's attached to Tuskegee, and that's the Tuskegee Airmen, which became extraordinarily famous and really publicized by the mainstream media, Hollywood, the studios. Why do you think that is? Do you remember something called HARP? They did the same thing with HARP. They put out a mortgage program, and the next thing you know, nobody's talking about the weather manipulation. Very sophisticated. Next up, FDR and Pearl Harbor. Did you know that FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, got news of the Japanese invasion into Pearl Harbor 2 weeks prior to it happening?
Wow.
People said that's a crazy conspiracy. Nope. There's documentation now. It's in the public view. You can see that FDR got communication from an admiral and I believe on-the-ground general that this was going to happen. He even had an admiral asked to quit because he wasn't preparing properly in Pearl Harbor and knowing the attack was coming. You can go deeper. Winston Churchill, it appears that actually tried to Great Britain. Very interesting stuff. So that was a conspiracy theory that is now a fact. And then you have Operation Paperclip. Wow, this was called a conspiracy theory. Just to give you a summary, this is at the end of World War II, where the U.S. government intelligence agencies recruited in the Nazis from Germany, their scientists, their engineers, and even some of their leaders over here, and they put them in the United States, they put them in Argentina and other places around the world to work for us. And what did they do? They rechanged their identity, they rechanged their paperwork to make it look like it was A-OK. Nothing wrong, but these were Nazis. Some of them even supposedly ran concentration camps. Now, I know there's a whole pro-Hitler, anti-Hitler thing in the movement right now. Just avoid that for a second. We're just stating facts right now. Factually, our government recruited over 1,000 Nazis in Operation Paperclip to come over here and work for our country. That was a conspiracy. It is 100% fact now.
Wow.
Next up, MK Ultra. Oh, that's a lie. That's just a conspiracy. There's nothing there. In fact, in the 70s, we shut the MK Ultra program down. Okay, we know that's utter BS now. The CIA has come out publicly and admitted it, and they still run of MK Ultra, and they have changed the names, yes, but all they've done is change the names. It's actually gotten more sophisticated. So now you can tell your abnormies that that's 100% fact. By the way, you can Google a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about right now. I'm making it easy on you. When you want to wake up the normies, just say, hey, you think I'm talking about conspiracies? Well, look at this thing that used to be conspiracy. It's a fact now. Look at this one. It's a fact. Look at this one. It's a fact. Why do you think suddenly it's changed that all conspiracies now are fake? No, it's even more likely to be true now. Now, COINTELPRO. This is an interesting one. So this is, I believe, around 1956-ish. The FBI directly violated our Constitution by wiretapping, spying, framing, harassing, and even assassinating U.S. citizens. I'm going to leave that there. I want you guys, I'm going to give you two of these, I believe, that I want you guys to go do the research on this. You will be blown away. Again, when it was happening in the 60s and 70s and 80s, they were calling this a conspiracy. All the documents are out now. COINTELPRO 1956, I believe, is an absolute 100% fact. And that's when it started. It went on for a while after that. So these are food for your abnormie friends. Next up, let me see. All of that, what I just said, is 100% true. All of it. But we were conspiracy theorists.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah.
Again, guys, there is so much ammunition out there for you to work on the normies. You just have to know how to approach them. Understand the person you're talking to and speak in their language. And yes, their language may be stupid. So figure it out. Give them just a little information, plant that seed, and move on. Or grab them with 6 to 8 other conspiracies that were definitely proven factual that they know about. You can go to the Gulf of Tonkin. I didn't even mention that, right? Where we we said that we were getting our ships fired on when they were getting fired on. We had other ships firing on our ships, and then we went into a place that we were told not to go into, and then they did fire upon us, and there you go. Now we enter the Vietnam War. Mm-hmm. Come on, guys. There's so much proof of this stuff. Next up. Well, we know chemtrails are fake. Right? Chemtrails are 100% fake. Mm-hmm. Y'all are crazy. Huh. Interesting enough, I think it's very interesting that they're so fake that several states are putting up bills to outlaw chemtrails. A couple of them have already gotten them passed. So let me ask you a question, you people out there that say chemtrails are fake. You out there saying I'm a tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorist. Well, okay. Let me ask you a question. Why would the state of Texas and Tennessee actually have bills that they put up to outlaw chemtrails if they're fake? I'll wait. Waiting. Okay, no, I'm still waiting. Yeah, because they're real, right? These are very easy conversations to have. But you know where they're getting their information. They're Googling it. And I said, if I was an abnormie, what would I do today? Let me go to Wikipedia. Let me tell you, after these bills have gone through the states and been approved that chemtrails are real, let me tell you what you can still find on Wikipedia. Quote, the chemtrail conspiracy theory is the erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails left in the sky by high-flying aircraft are actually chemtrails, consisting of chemical or biological agents sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public. What the F did I just read? So they're already 100% proven. You have state legislators and legislation passing bills saying no more chemtrails. Yet, your trusted source, Wikipedia, first line, the chemtrail conspiracy theory is the erroneous belief, yada, 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 yada. Bullshit, 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 bullshit.
The erroneous
I
belief
hope
is going
we
to
are
Wikipedia.
understanding what's going on. I'm sorry, Robert. Go ahead.
Yeah, the erroneous thing is going to Wikipedia because it's crowdsourced information. It's horrible. You don't get any truth there. Sorry.
Well,
You know.
and
Yeah.
unfortunately, people don't understand that a lot of the crowds are paid for by the CIA.
Correct. Yeah.
It's not just your every. They want you to think, hey, everybody's out here and they're crowdsourcing it, right? And we're here in Alabama, or we're here we're surfing in California. Oh yeah, that's having a good fun. Or I'm from Brooklyn, right? And I'm crowdsourcing this stuff. No, a lot of them are in think tanks inside the CIA and the FBI, and it's disgusting, guys. We're just giving you the knowledge. But a lot of this you know, but I'm trying to give you the tools that you can take to the abnormies and say, hey, abnormies, check this out. Boom, what's next up here? So if all that's true, wait a second. Wait. Are you saying that the Facebook was not created by a couple guys in college? A couple of nerds just trying to hook up with girls, and girls didn't want to have anything to do with them, so they created Facebook? That's not true? What?
What's the story?
Oh my God. Mark Zuckerberg's my hero. How could that not be true? Because DARPA, a CIA-run DARPA, created Facebook and handed it over. And yes, Zuckerberg's worth a lot of money, because he's get paid to be a nefarious bad guy and continue this absolutely I say, the haunting and interrogation of the American public through this DARPA Facebook asset. So, wow, if that conspiracy, is that true? No. Well, this one couldn't be true at all, right? Was the J6 and the wait. You mean over 200 FBI agents were in the crowd on J6? Huh. Really? You mean that guy Lewis stood next to one and was looking at his phone and intimidating him until he left? Because that day I said this guy's an agent? Because he's so freaking obvious with his stupid haircut? Guys, we need to wake up. It's all coming true. But you have so much ammunition out there, guys. This could be so much fun for you. Just start having fun with this stuff. I feel so sorry for the J6ers, too. They just absolutely got railroaded.
Yep. Lewis, they will become our heroes, and they will be really, really well respected and well rewarded for their sacrifice. That's what I believe.
I actually believe that to be 100% true, and I'm glad you said that. And they deserve it.
Yep, absolutely.
So, within a week, I reported that they're going to find biolabs in Ukraine. And even in the Patriot community, I got a lot of shit for that. I think to date, they've already found, we've confirmed 27. They said there may be 42 is I think what the number is. But there's a confirmation of 27 biolabs in Ukraine. Wait, that was a conspiracy. Oh, in fact, so much of a conspiracy that Truth Social wouldn't put it up. It helped my X account get deleted. My YouTube account got deleted, right? Several people that forwarded it, what I put out on Facebook, that got deleted. Oh, but now it's true. I'm sorry. So I'm just waiting. So Facebook, YouTube, X and True Social, just go ahead and send me the apology letter. I'd really appreciate it. Right? No problem.
Not gonna happen, right?
And make sure I get all those followers back that I lost too. That would be phenomenal. Can you do that for me? But that was within a week. We said that right here, and here it is. Look at that. There's 100% proof. Guys, are you serious? These conspiracies are true. Wait, what the heck? You mean masks, CGIs, and holograms exist? No. Oh, Lewis, that's okay. I'm going to do it. I have to do it. Excuse me for a second. I'm coming.
We're waiting.
All right, got my tinfoil hat on. I got my backup tinfoil hat, thanks to Robert and Phoebe also. Oy, oy, oy. Okay, so let's go here. Not believe that this Joe Biden guy is a masked actor. Clearly he is. I think everybody's figured it out now. He still may have a debate whether he's working for the good guys or the bad guys. I say he's working for the good guys because they make him look so freaking ridiculously stupid. The bad guys wouldn't do that.
Yep.
It's already been proven that that day that Queen Elizabeth was in that carriage, it was a CGI image. And when she did that commercial, they came out and said we were testing out CGI with Queen Elizabeth. Already proven. They said it. The Oprah Winfrey interviews, already proven. Bruce Willis signing a contract saying you can CGI all my images. I don't ever need to work again. Already proven. Simon Cowell being CGI live on American Idol or Got Talent. America's Got Talent. Already proven. Live. CGI is real. And the Pope hologram. Interesting. Now, I don't know if that's been proven a hologram, but it sure looks like a hologram when he disappears while he's talking on the balcony. Interesting. And we know they have the holographic capabilities. They, in fact, in I believe is it Taiwan, Robert? They do some incredible things in the middle of the street with holograms, and it just blows people away.
Yep.
They feel like it's real what they're looking at. So all of that's proven, guys. So these are more proven things.
I'll tell you, CGI is the old technology. Computer-generated imagery is what CGI stands for, and that's now been replaced by AI, which is 10 times more powerful.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's just crazy. Yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, go ahead and watch Rock in any of his movies post-2022. CGI. You can tell, by the way, they didn't do a very good job with him. So that's now you don't want to lead with that one, by the way, because the normies will shut you down. You want to lead with all the other stuff I talked about and then lead up to it, right? Yeah. Yep. So you got to say, see, these were a theory, now they're fact. But here's the proof of it, right? You definitely don't want to lead with this one, because you'll probably lose them. Okay, what do we have in Hollywood? Adrenochrome, Satan worshipers, Freemason division, the Khazarian mafia, and Zionist control. Could those all be real also? Or are those still just conspiracy theories?
Yep.
Isn't it interesting? Wow. Have we come a long way in just a couple of years? Now, let's get into the crazy stuff. I don't know. Is it possible? That's all I'm going to say on this one. Is it possible that Taylor Swift is the daughter of, I believe her name's Zena LeVay, which is the daughter of Anton LaVey, Mr. Satanic guy himself? Could she possibly be the granddaughter? I don't know. Very interesting. By the way, this is one picture of a side-by-side. There's at least 5 that I can find in different outfits that she's mimicking the exact pose and a lot of times the clothes of Zena LeVay.
Wow.
Interesting. Why is she paying homage to her and they look like they could be definitely mother and daughter or sisters?
Yeah.
Well, maybe they're clones. Woo! Now, I have no personal proof of this one, but I'm just wondering if all the other conspiracies that we showed you are true now. Are clones possible? I think there's a lot of information that they are not only possible, but likely. I do believe that most of what you're seeing are masked people, and like Robert says, AI. But there could be some clones out there, and there seems to be some evidence of that fact. Because I certainly don't believe that in public they would have publicly disclosed that they cloned a sheep 50 years ago, and they would have just stopped right there.
Yeah.
Come on, man. So we do know they're cloning humans. They're just not making it public. So does that mean it's possible that the Clinton kill list is real also? I'll let you guys study that one as well. Project Bluebeam. Well, they've definitely shown they have the capability to do this. And this is holographic images, I think actually run by AI. Robert can probably correct me if I'm wrong, that they can pretty much show you anything. They're doing this in concerts. They've had several concerts where the entertainers are a hologram. They've disclosed a couple of them, and then they've been exposed on a couple. And us conspiracy theorists, as tinfoil hat wearing crazy people, are speculating on some others that may just be a hologram. So we know the capability is there, and it's fantastic. So Project Bluebeam, the idea is they're going to show us space aliens, and then we're all going to get in a panic, and then they can gather us all together under one government control. We gotcha. We'll put our arms around you. We'll protect you. Come with us.
Yep.
That's what Project Bluebeam is. Don't know.
Go
Could
look
be a
up.
conspiracy.
Go look up ABBA and their concert called Voyage. The entire thing is hologram, and they built a whole arena just around that. It's been going on for about a year now. What they did is they scanned the real people doing the show and their older self, because they're older now, right? And how they move, and they scanned all of that, and then they put their younger faces, younger bodies on the holograms. So it's their movements, their song, their audio, but the hologram is created. It's a recreation of who they are. So unreal. Oh. It's so real.
Yeah. I have to check it out because I'm blown away at the technology. Yeah. And by the way, guys, anything that we see in technology is still 30 to 50 years behind where it really is. That's a military fact, by the way. That's why Area 51 did exist, and they did a lot of stuff at Area 51. And by the way, it's been moved twice to Area 52, and then there's another undisclosed location right now. So, but that's why they freely let you talk about Area 51, because they don't do much there anymore. Just like they freely let you talk about fluoride, because deuterium in the water is a lot worse than fluoride. Do you see the game, guys? Mm-hmm. That's the game. And is Agenda 2030 correct? Well, if you talk to our wonderful friends, the Spaniards, they would say 100%. They're seeing this all over the place. Virtually every government building, every train has the Agenda 30 logo on it. Guys, you're going to have to study Agenda 30. We don't have time to go into it because there's 17 different functions. Now, why the number 17? Could that be a disclosure for the white hats, or could it be what I think, where the deep state is now trying to play the same game that the good guys are playing, and they're going to use their numbers to trick you? Be very wary of this, because there's 17 things that they're saying they're going to change by 2030. It's Agenda 2030. It's such a beautiful, beautiful thing they're doing. Not. So the conspiracy theories have now turned to conspiracy facts. That does it for me today on this segment.
Yeah, good job, Lewis. Good job.
I got the applause and everything.
Woo! That's our audience. They're chiming in on us here.
Good. Hey, guys, tell us in the chat if you appreciated that segment, because we're going to do more like that if you did.
Yeah.
What do you think, Robert?
I think you did a great job. And
craziness, though, isn't it?
It's interesting how some of us can be ahead of the curve, so far ahead of the curve, that we figure it out literally on day one or within hours. And then some people are still driving around their car by themselves wearing a mask 4 years later.
Yeah. Amazing. It's sad, too.
Yeah. I was at a lady in there and masked up and gloved, and I'm like, well, maybe if she's immunocompromised, I get it. Otherwise, doesn't make any sense. But yeah, there are those people. You want to protect your respiratory health. One thing you can do is you can get some pine needle extract from SBG Ascent. It supports a healthy immune system, assists in brain and nervous system health, supports healthy detoxification, and so much more. The shikimic acid. We had a little conversation with our buddy Lance on Friday about that, and he shared how important that is for digestive health as well. It's one of those things, along with the humic and fulvic acid, that helps you keep your digestive tract and keep your microbiome and stay healthy through all of this. And now we're getting the new pandemic that's coming out. Oh boy, I feel the fear coming on already. Not. We got to make sure that you're protected. SBG Ascent, ASCENT.com is where you'll go, and you'll find more information there about what Lance has to offer. And we love Lance, and thank you, Lance, for sponsoring our show. And we're going to have him back because he got a lot of feedback on that interview we did on Friday last week. So
it was an awesome interview, and it's interesting. So today, actually, on my wife and I just today tried this healthy gum. Right, it's all essential oils. It's very good. And I took the pine needle extract on our gum, and I dropped a couple drops on the gum today because it tastes that good that you can get away with doing that.
Yeah, and no, it tastes really great. Yeah, no question about it. It's a supplement you'll enjoy taking. It's liquid, so you just put it under the tongue and and then swallow it. It's just really good for you. So, and it's sourced really interesting. He sources it. They're wild harvested in Canada, the pine needles. So no pesticides, no farms anywhere. If you know what Canada looks like, there's like 10 people that live there, and the rest of it's all natural, right? Literally. We have more people in California than you have in all of Canada, just to give you an idea.
That is crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So, SBGAscent.com. Thank you, Lance, for sponsoring us. Boy, fun stuff. All right. This queer guy. What is with this queer guy that showed up at the White House?
This is
we talk on it.
Yeah.
What the? So that I believe that is Dylan Mulvaney's hairdresser. Just whatever, right?
Right.
So
that's what they said. That was in the tweet. I saw that. Yeah.
So this dude got to go to the White House, and they do this big, huge production where how you fake Kamala. The best person to ever address them would be fake Kamala, anyways, right?
Yep.
She's about as authentic as I won't even say it, but she's not authentic. Let's just say that. So, okay, she's about as authentic as Michael Jackson's nose. There you go. So fake Kamala, or Kim Kardashian's ass. So. Or Big Mike's vagina. Okay, I'm on a roll now.
You're on a roll. I see it.
That's how authentic Kamala Harris is. So she's the perfect person to address these Looney Tunes when they're invited to the White House, right? So it's all show. Now, so there's a picture with this guy there. There's a picture with this guy on an actual podium where it looks like they did CGI.
It looked like CGI, but when they zoomed back and nothing moved, it was like, maybe not. Maybe they are actually in the press room.
It's still there though. Regardless, they're the ones producing it though. This is not Patriots coming out with this as a comedy show.
No, not at all. Yeah,
they're producing it. Listen to the people asking the questions. So flamboyant, right? It's like, come on, and then. They showed. Do you have the one where they're all kind of skipping through the Rose Garden or whatever it is at the so-called White House, the fake White House?
That one I don't. I have. So the husband really wants nothing to do with it. He's just like, yeah, whatever.
No. He's like, Kamala, protect me. I'm standing right behind you. Oh my God. This was the most awkward, ridiculous, in-your-face stuff. This is an indication to me that the good guys are controlling this stuff. it's so off the hook. I don't think it would ever get them an extra vote. In fact, it would lose them votes even within their satanic Democratic Party.
Yeah.
And so they wouldn't risk that just to appease, right? The LGBTQ plus LMNOP, QRST, WXYZ community would be fine if you just colored the White House in the rainbow, you know what I mean, for a full month.
Yeah.
So they don't need to do all this extra stuff. So this seems to me to be controlled by a force that's trying to make them look absolutely ridiculous, and they do. So congratulations.
It's
to
a
them.
laugh. We're a laughing stock, and it's just not helping. But I think you're right. I think this is the desired plan, that you're waking everybody up now, and not just a handful. And there are still the diehards that are going to support him. I mean, how can Biden still have 37% support? It can't, right? That number doesn't make any sense.
Nah, there's no way.
There was Bannon was on this morning talking about all the economic numbers and how all of them have been faked to a point that is so ridiculous that you'd have to be drunk to believe them. And he was going through them, and he had guests on that were talking about it. And it's like, it's like, the unemployment rate at 3%. How is that even possible? The economy is falling apart. The wheels are falling off it. Oh, unemployment's only 3%. No. That only happens when the economy's roaring. You know what I mean?
That's right.
It's not possible. Not possible. So, yeah. They were going through them, and they were looking
lies, and more lies.
What's that? Oh, yeah, it's all lies. And it's all the facade to make us believe that things aren't quite as bad as you think they are.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.
Well, that's a cool video. Ironically, I was just telling my wife last night that, did you know that the Paramount logo, because I was talking about there's a studio called Illumination. You take out the ON, it's Illuminati. And then I talked about Columbia, where they have the Illuminati torch again, just like the Statue of Liberty. And I mentioned to her, I go, and by the way, there's Paramount that has 22 stars of the fallen angels, and then the video you showed it. So that's very cool.
Wild. The things we don't know right in front of us, right? And crazy. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of our outline today. Thank you, Louis, for bringing the heat. I think people are really enjoying it. I'm looking at the chat room and looking at the response, and people are really enjoying what we're getting. And also thank you for those of you watching on X, our biggest audience to date on X, actually almost as big as our Rumble audience today.
That's awesome.
Go figure. You never know.
Tomorrow.
Q&A with Louis Herms tomorrow. And then Friday we will have Matt Geiger answering your questions on what it takes to invest in gold and silver, and why you should do it, why you should not do it. Maybe it's not for you. Anyway.
Yep, but he's got a lot. He's always brings a lot of more information than that too, which is really cool.
He does, yeah. We really enjoy having him on and really appreciate him sponsoring us. So MidasGoldGroup.com, and you'll see. We'll talk to him on Friday. We'll get the inside scoop on what he has to offer. So Q&A with you tomorrow, and you're flying solo on that, and I will be back with everyone on Friday. And wow, what a week! Busy week, my friend.
Appreciate everybody. Love y'all. Keep those vibrations.